Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome in. And I think today's video, I'm going to do my best to try to make it as short as possible. What I'm going to be going through are going to be seasonal mods for Warmind. All right. So these mods have come in the season of the Worthy, and a lot of people have been asking me, how come you haven't made a video about, all of these crazy Warmind cells and blah blah blah. Here's the thing. All right. I wanted to get the whole collection because I didn't want to put out a video for things separately. I kind of wanted to do everything at once so you can kind of understand what's going on. Now, if you don't know what Warmind cells are, let me break that down. Warmind cells are created from Warmind weapons. There are other ways to create them through abilities or other things, but you have to use the mods for it. Now, Warmind cells, what I'm currently using is the sidearm from this season. Warmind cells, you have a chance to generate them out of killing enemies by using a Seraph weapon. Now, the game also allows you to do certain things with these Warmind cells. Hopefully one of these guys pop out so we can see it. I don't see anything yet. Oh my chances are low. Interesting. Oh, I know why. Nothing has popped up because I don't have any of the mods on, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Here we are, the magical Warmind cell. And you probably had the generic one where you shot it and you've seen everything die. You're like, wow, these things are like awesome. They're strong. I feel like they are strong against, minor and orange bars. Against yellow bars, you can kind of see a difference. So I'm going to try to kill these guys in the center here so we can kind of get this ball rolling. Waiting for it, wait for it, there it goes. Now, if you see the life of those guys up there, when I shoot this, you can kind of see that it does like almost a third of their lives, which isn't bad. But I think this is made for more like ad control and, survivability. All right. So there are different mods. There are arc, solar, and mods, and these go into armor slots in the game. Now, where can you put these? You can put this on helmet, gauntlets, chest piece, your boots, class item. It does not matter where it goes as long as you have the energy slot for it. And what I mean by this is if I go into collection, I go under mods and we go into general, it's going to be in the very last slots here. All right. We have some solar ones, we have some void ones, we have some arc ones, and we have some arc ones. Right, arcs. The first one is called Global Reach, and Global Reach is basically kind of given to you once you're done with the Worthy storyline, opening up the bunker. 4 of them come from different Seraph Tower events, and they were going to say there too, right? You can see here that this one says Seraph Bunker Rank Up. EDZ had 2 of them. Then the Moon had 2. And IO has 2. Once you get to rank 7, you're able to purchase these. I believe with encrypted bits. All right. Here you can see that these 2 are Seraph Bunker rank ups. But here on this one, Blessing Rasputin, it says complete the Seraph Tower public events. So if you don't have these yet and you want to go about getting them, make sure that you open up the cache when you finish the public events, right? When you finish the Seraph Tower public events, make sure that you open up the cache. Not the original chest that's on the right, but the one that's on the left that requires an encrypted key, the blue keys. And if I look in my inventory right now, I can show you that right here, encrypt the Warmind bits. That's what you need in order to open up those caches, all right? Each planet has 4, meaning once you get 4, that's it. You're not able to get more. You have to go to the different planet, finish that event there to get the next 4. And now that all three bunkers are open, you're able to get all of these mods. And together there's 19 mods, all right? There's one that's just a general mod, and what it does is it creates effect and damage targets at greater distance. What I did was I went through and did all of the work, check all the distance, right? Normal distance for a Warmind cell is 10 meters. But if you apply this mod to the Warmind cell, if you put on your gear, it goes up to 20 meters. How did I do that? I use a gun called Darcy. Darcy basically helped me out when it came to it. I don't think I have Darcy on this character. Let me move it over real quick. Darcy is one of those guns in the game that kind of help you out when you need it the most, all right? Darcy kind of helps me out to basically figure out ranges of things, what's going on in the game, and you're probably asking, how do I do that? Well, if you aim down sights with the Darcy, you can see that on the bottom left, it shows 10 meters. And if I move back a bit further, I can see that that guy is now at 31 meters. And that's how I know the distances here. But I'm still going to kind of show this off, right? All right. So I'm going to go into 2 different pieces of gear right now. We're going to do just the normal piece of gear here. I'm going to take everything else off, right? I am going to have, let's put on Grasp of the Warmind. And we're going to use the generic. We're going to use the generic global reach. But before we do that, I just want to show the actual distance, right? I am going to kill a little bit. I'm going to pick up an orb. If it shows up. All right. Generally, you cannot do this, what I'm about to do right now, unless you have this mod. The mod is called Grasp of the Warmind, and I will go into more details with this later on. Grasp of the Warmind allows you to pick up, carry, and throw Warmind cells. All right? So, I'm going to use this in my presentation here. You can see that this is the radius currently, right, with the global reach. This is my radius currently. If I try to move over here, I can only highlight these guys, and not even these guys here, right? Now, you can kind of see the range. Like, if I leave this ball here next to him, and I come back here, I can see that the enemies are being highlighted from here. You see that? That is 10 meters. This is the cutoff. Nothing else will get highlighted after that. But if I go on and I throw on this mod for distance, which is called Global Reach, we can kind of see that when I make another orb, it is going to cover everyone because now it doubled. All right, here we go. As you can see here, all of these guys are shaded in. You see that? I have everyone in orange. You can see that from the Thrall to the Ogre, everyone is in orange. And if I drop this ball here next to this Ogre because I need a target in order for Darcy to work for me, I can see that at this night, I am, well, if I'm at exactly at the night, I'm at 20 meters. If I go behind them, I'm kind of past. There's nothing else that's going to be highlighted here. Also, the lifespan of the orb is 20 seconds. But here's a trick, right? That trick is going to be later on in the video. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go through the ARC mods. I feel like the ARC mods are very underwhelming. Why do I feel like the ARC mods are underwhelming? Because I've tested it, all right? I put it on pieces of gear, and I went through it, and I'm just not a huge fan of them, and I kind of want to talk about it, right? Here we are. So the first one I want to initially go through is the Blessing of Rasputin. It says here, collecting a Warmind cell increases the chances that your next final blow with a Seraph weapon will create a Warmind cell. Let's just say it sucks. All right. Try using it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know who thought it was a good idea. It does not work. All right. I killed an enemy. I collected it. I killed 5 enemies. 5. I was thinking maybe 2 or 3. 5. Nothing procs. So I think they need to rework this one. Next, we have modular lightning. Modular lightning is actually pretty cool. It's almost like running Doom Archers, right? And I kind of want to show that actually. Modular lightning is actually pretty freaking neat. Now, I'm going to take out Grass of the Warmind because these two don't really work together like that. So I'm going to put on modular lightning, all right? With modular lightning, when you collect the orb and you shoot it by enemies, I'm pretty sure you guys know how Doom Archers work. It has like that whole tagging thing, right? So look at all these enemies around me and watch this. You saw that, right? It killed that guy and it chained through these 2 guys, so they took a bunch of damage. Pretty cool. Not a huge fan. All right. When it comes down to the Arc mods, all of them require you to collect the Warmind cell. And it basically goes against other mods like Grass of the Warmind, where you can kind of be tactical. You could pick up your Warmind cell and put it in different places. You can use it to heal yourself. You can use it to do other things. So it seems like the Arc class is meant to just be played alone, and there's no way to work this together with most other mods. All right, and here's why. One of them, Sheltering Energy, is to grant you an overshield. The overshield is cool. You know, like if you're low life, you can use it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it was well thought out. I feel like they probably were just like, all right, cool. We don't know what to put on the gun, so let's give them overshield. All right? Let's give them overshield. They're going to love it. They are going to love it. I don't love it, Bungie. I'm sorry. All right? This shit is hot cheeks. But here we go. I'm going to ricochet myself here, get my life down. I am going to collect this, and it's going to give me an overshield over my life. That's cool and all, but we're going to go into other mods that are going to make this mod just look like shit. Next mod, we have Strength of Rasputin. Collecting a Warmind cell grants you melee energy. I don't feel like I don't really need it, especially since it's only giving me 50% of my energy, no matter what my build is, no matter where my strength is at. This mod only gives me back 50% of my melee energy. Not a huge fan of it. I feel like that's another waste. And last but not least, we have Chosen of the Warmind. Collecting or destroying a Warmind cell creates a concussive blast that pushes enemies away. I have yet to kind of see this in action because the Warmind itself, when you shoot it, does damage to enemies around it. I tried using this mod so many times, and I have not seen it work or blast anyone away for me personally. Maybe someone else can make a video to explain this shit to me because I don't fucking understand it. Next, we have Warmind's Light. Become charged with light by collecting a Warmind cell. So basically, all of the Arc-worthy armor mods rely around you collecting it to kind of get something else going. I don't see myself doing that. If you're the type of player that would kind of want to put it together, cool. I just feel like there's no synergy for any of it, really. All right. If I'm going to get blessed with light, I am more than likely going to use taking charge. Why? Because it's a lot easier. I kill 2 enemies, I drop an orb, I pick it up, I am charged with light. Instead of, oh, I shoot a bunch of enemies, I get a Warmind cell to drop, then I have to like shoot a bunch of other enemies, hoping to get charged with light, right? Hoping. So I'm shooting a bunch of enemies. I don't know exactly who is going to drop me a Warmind cell. And when they finally do, I walk through it to get charged with light. Once I get that charge of light and I kill another enemy, I lose it again. That is not a good gamble, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That's my breakdown of the Arc mods. I am not a huge fan of it. I feel like the Arc ones just got like They just got thrown down for. No, I don't like them. All right. Next, we have solar. Solar, I can deal with. Solar has so much potential. My favorite one we are going to start out with is Fire Team Medic, which is why I said the overshield from the previous one sucks dick. All right. Fire Team Medic. Here we go. Destroying a Warmind cell creates a burst of healing for you and your allies nearby you. Dude, this is big brain right here. You know, if I am doing endgame activity with my friends and my life gets low or their life gets low, I get to do this. All right? I get to not only heal my damn self, but I get to heal people around. All right? And I don't have to freaking collect the orb. If it's by me, all I have to do is shoot it. And guess what? The radius can be 20 meters. That's a huge radius, especially if you're doing endgame activity like Nightfalls and you have someone near you and their life is low. Instead of like even throwing a grenade if you're a warlock or something like that, you see a Warmind cell on the ground, you shoot it, you're both healed. It is pretty awesome. I feel like for Grandmaster Nightfalls, especially when we're living the revives, this might be a great thing to do. All right. I'm also going to show this in action because why not? Let's put here. Let me put on a set of gauntlets here. I can get Warmind grass rope. All right. So, see if we can make an orb. All right. So there goes an orb. I'm going to do damage to myself. And I'm going to try to get as low as possible. All right. Now, if I shoot this, my life is basically at 70%. And it went from me being one shot to 70% and quickly recovering. And not only that, if there are minor enemies around you, such as thralls or any other thing, they are going to die. Would I take that over giving me something that's going to give me an overshield and not help my teammates? Of course I would. I mean, who wouldn't? Ladies and gentlemen, wouldn't. Now, next, besides being the Fire Team Medic, we're going to go into Wrath of Rasputin. Solar splash damage. Final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. And I love this. I love it. Here's the thing. There's a lot of weapons in the game that do solar splash damage. You have Sunshot. You have solar weapons that have Dragonfly on them. All right? All of that works. You have a Titan subclass. All three subclasses, the supers, they all create Warminds. Grenades. The Hunter Trip Mine creates Warmind cells. The Hunter Middle Tree Super creates Warmind cells. What I'm talking about is Blade Barrage. Besides the Blade Barrage, you have Dawnblade. The Super itself creates Warmind cells. And the craziest thing, even out of all of this that I didn't even know at first, are that solar grenade launchers also create Warmind cells. That means that I could run an outrageous fortune, kill things, and create Warmind cells. That blew my mind. And I did not know that because when I was testing all this stuff, I was like, we're not going to work. But they do. One thing I am sad about is that sunspots for Titans don't create Warmind cells unless you use the super. But, I mean, from the list that I have here, you got things like Sunshot, you got 1000 Voices, you got Xenophage, you got the Tommy Matchbook, you have solar grenades. Any solar grenade for the Warlock works. Thermite grenades that work really well. And guess what? When it comes to grenade launchers, dude, just last season, if you played last season, right? If you went and did the Sundial a few times, you must have one of these in your vault. The Maltra's Retribution. That thing, boom, does it as well. Thermite grenades are awesome, by the way. I love them. All right? This is a cool mod. Next, we have Burning Cells. Destroying a Warmind cell creates a burst of solar energy that causes enemies to burn over several seconds. I actually tested it. The burn, about 10 seconds, right? But let's get that shown real quick. All right, here we go. I am going to use it on big guy here so you guys can kind of see it. Here we are. I'm going to shoot it. And you can see that there's an initial damage of about 19,647 on this big guy, right? When we go back into it, you can basically put Burning Cell with another mod from the Solar class. You have Burning Cell, and then you have Rage of the Warmind. Rage of the Warmind adds another 50% damage to the Burning Cells. So having these two on two different pieces of armor is not a bad thing to have. And guess what? That's working on any enemies around you. You can be basically an ad clear machine if you wanted to, right? All right. Next, we have Light of the Fire. Rapidly defeat targets with the detonation of the Warmind cell, generate orbs of light. I don't really see myself needing that much. When I tested it out, you need to kill 4 enemies rapidly to get orbs of light. Guess what? We have weapons that are masterwork that when you kill 2 enemies, give you orbs of light, and it's guaranteed. There's no reason for you this mod whatsoever. I think this mod was poorly made. I'm sorry to say it. It was poorly made. Next, we have Incendiary Light. Become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple enemies. I'm not a huge fan of it either. I think that you can do the same thing with taking charge, and just by picking up an orb of light, you are completely fine. All right. Last but not least, we have the Void mods, and I love the Void mods. It seems like when it comes to the mods and the elemental slots, Bungie just gives Void all the best things. Maybe, you know, they just love Void. Who knows? All right. First and foremost, Grasp of the Warmind is freaking amazing. I mean, you just see me use it there. You can pick up, you can carry, you can throw the Warmind cell. This allows you to be strategic with your Warmind cells. That means if I decided to use my Warmind cell in one spot and I'm done with that spot, I can bring it somewhere else. Now, Warmind cells normally last 20 seconds. And if you have the longevity mod, which is the Void mod, it brings it up to 30 seconds. But if you have the Grasp of the Warmind, you could pick up and drop this thing and pick it up and drop it and pick it up and drop it. Pick it up and drop it. Pick it up and drop it. You get my point. You'll have it forever, okay? Now, you see this guy's face here? We're going to drop a ball in his face. Look at that. He's a perfect unicorn. All right? It's in his face. It's not going anywhere. I don't care where he runs. I'm going to get that damage off. You see that? And that is beautiful, okay? That's the first mod for the Void, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Void allows you to do multiple things. One of them is protection, all right? I'm not sure how much protection you actually get with this, but you take reduced damage from enemies that are nearby Warmind cell. So if you put this mod with the very first initial mod, which is Global Reach, that means that an enemy within 20 meters of a Warmind cell does less damage to you. That's going to help out a lot, especially if you're on the light or you feel like, you know, the enemies are kind of putting out too much damage, right? That's what I think. I think it's beautiful. Next, besides having Grasp of the Warmind, let's switch it up real quick. We have Cellular Suppression. Damaging a Warmind cell creates a burst of suppressing void energy. Additionally, you deal less damage to Warmind cells. That means that the Warmind cell that drops out when you shoot it, you're not going to blow it up right away. You shoot it, and the enemies are blind. And the enemies are blind for a good amount of time, right? I went through, and I basically got all these numbers there. And it seems like about 10 seconds. Isn't bad. But we're gonna check it out here. Here we go, Cellular Suppression. It's pretty neat. It does not work on bosses. It does work on yellow bars, majors, and it works on oranges and minors as well. Come on. All right, so here we go, right? We have all these enemies. You don't get to do more damage, but they are suppressed. Boom, you shoot it one time and you see that? They are suppressed. They can't do anything to you for about 10 seconds. That's kind of good if you're surrounded, right? And as you can see that orb was about to go away, I picked it up. And guess what? It's back to normal again. It has a normal cooldown. I think the Warmind that grabs a pretty good one. All right. The next mod here is called Power of Rasputin. You gain a bonus to weapon damage against enemies that are near Warmind cells. Okay. This is a 10% boost. It's not bad at all. Here's what I did. I put it together with high energy fire and chargeable light. And high energy fire is normally 20%. Those two stacked together and became a 32% buff. Then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. I tried it out with, Tractor, and it went up by 71%. And then I tried it with Tractor and Bubble, and it went up to 93. So I did 93% extra damage just because I put these things together. So I kind of like putting things together, especially if it's going to allow me to put out more DPS. All right. Power of Rasputin is a definitely great one. I will be making builds for different classes to use in Grandmaster Nightfalls, but I just wanted to go down over the basics of these mods. All right. Next mod is called Warmind Longevity. Like I said, the lifespan of a Warmind cell is normally 20 seconds. With this mod, it makes it 30 seconds. That's the extra 10 seconds that you get to do things with. You get to take less damage, you get to blind your enemies, and you get to, do what you have to do. And then if you really need to get rid of it, I think a good combo is to run the healing from the solar subclass. So if you feel like, oh man, these enemies are kind of getting on my butt, you shoot that one, it gives you your life back. You kill a few more enemies because you're back in the fight. You get another orb and you keep going. All right. And last but not least, once again, I am not a huge fan of, becoming charged with light with these seasonal mods. This one is become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple enemies near a Warmind cell using weapons or abilities. It works. It's 4 enemies. I don't know. I'd rather just kill 2 enemies. Charged with light. All right. So, if you guys liked the video, you liked everything I went through, please leave a comment. I'm sorry I did my best to make this video the shortest that I could. I believe that if you are looking into the seasonal mods, here's a breakdown, and I will be making builds in other videos per character. I just can't do that in one video because it's going to be too long. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.